everyone, this is Jagger here with Brushers Toys, and today we have the unboxing of the Tyrannosaurus Rex Off-Road Tracker Pack from the 93 Classic. I just gotta say, like, we just picked this up at our Target, and this is on sale for $24.99. I know that the package was cracked up here, so I wasn't too worried about it just because we're gonna do an unboxing on here, so it wasn't damaged. But just looking at this package, you can see this is as close to the Kenner days as we're going to see in this day and age, this era. And Mattel really knocked this pack out of the park. I actually have not really paid attention to this in the stores at Target, and I just happened to come across it, and I did not realize how big it is. And you can just see how they went with the retro look on here. I really wish that they would just continue this 93 Classic line and just keep going with it. It's just the nostalgia on here. And, you know, like with this T-Rex, they tried to do the JP Series 2 T-Rex from Kenner to match that paint. And they could have done like the dino damage piece missing, you know, and then add that in there. But this is such a cool pack, and we're going to dive in and just see it. It is really a big box. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to post a link in the description for this for Target, because like I said, this is on sale for $24.99. And one thing that I've told you guys in our previous videos is we have not been paying the retail price when the stuff drops, only because we've seen it go down in price, you know, at least half, 50% off. You know, when this is just one of those packs to hold off on. I just really always wanted to get this pack, but I've never seen it in person. I was like, oh, you know, it's on sale, let's do this. I mean, you get a Jeep, you get a figure, you get capture gear. This is as close to the retro as you're gonna get, and I myself can tell you that I never was able to acquire a Series 2 Kenner T-Rex from the stores. I had to buy one used, and you know, mine does not have the capture gear, and it's missing the damage wound, and unfortunately the paint was really flaking like everyone else's that you see online too. I think the paint, there was just some issues with that paint and that line, but we can just see how cool this is. I want to say, I bet you there's plastic pins holding this in, so we'll do that. Get this T-Rex out of here, and then we'll dive right in and do the review. I just love this backdrop though. This is probably, I gotta say, this is probably up there with one of the T-Rexes I've been waiting to see to do, only because, like I said, I wasn't able to acquire one of these when I was younger. I know that the Sears catalog you could order in that, and I know that I was not able to acquire one. And I never saw one at KB Toys or Toys R Us when we were able to travel and see. Wasn't able to find the Carnosaur or the Quasosaur either. But so far, this capture gear actually has a little more movement to it too, which is really cool. But let's see. So the Jeep has the pins too. Let's see how this works. I'm trying to save the box from not being damaged. Let's see. Oh, wow. Was it on jack stands almost? Like a display thing? It looks like it. There we go, guys. Okay. So it looks like it sits on jack stands, which is really cool. They already did apply the decals on here too. Just what I was looking at in the box. So that's really cool. And then we've got the reimagined Ray Arnold. So I think, looking at this too, I believe this was supposed to be their version of the Series 2 line. Maybe not. If you guys want to chime in on that, I'm grateful to just hear the feedback. It looks like I am going to have to pull the plastic off here. I was hoping not to, but to get the capture gear off, I just like that backdrop. Man. Maybe I can cut it. Well, looks like you do have to peel it. So you guys can see. It's too bad that Mattel makes you have to destroy that, but let's get the Ray Arnold figure out, and let's get his weapon of choice out. And what we'll do is, I'm just gonna pause the video real quick, and we're gonna put that back in there and get the figure set up. All right, so we have that back in there, just less of a mess. This is more of a rubber plasticky, just not as plastic as the old stuff from the 93, 94. Just so you younger folks know that haven't had the Kenner stuff, the chains used to break really easily. They were brittle in ways, and I know, like, even my stuff to this day, some of it has broken just by sitting in a tub. So, you know, it's just too bad. But this is really cool. This is, like I said, as retro as you're gonna get. So then we do the old Mattel thing, and we can line up the slot and the slot, snap that in there just like that. This T-Rex is really cool. Just looking at it. See, I see why they give you the jack stands. Just looking at that. We'll dive into the T-Rex first. We'll get the plastic pieces out of the way. The jack stands we can use for the Jeep. But just looking at this, I believe this is the retro. This is just the my wife and I call it the purple T-Rex, but the Legacy Collection T-Rex, just repainted. And what we're going to do is, in another video, we're going to compare that to this. However, this has more of a, I don't know, it's more of like a rubber soft plastic here than what I remember of the Legacy Collection one. It does probably look like there's more detail. I know the teeth, I'd say the teeth definitely, there's more rubber. And the one thing is with this, the tongue is not going up, whereas the Legacy Collection one, it did go up. But when you look at this T-Rex, this is super cool. I really like that they're trying to go on the retro feel. You can just see the detail. You know, like I tell you guys, it's too bad that it's not pure rubber, but it's really cool. There's that code that you can add to the app. I think that one thing that would have been so cool as the home run touch was just to do that plastic dino damage piece here to show the inside of the dinosaur, like what we had in our younger years. But this is super cool. So we'll just set the T-Rex there, and then let's look at the Jeep. So this Jeep is the Reimagined Jeep. I believe this has anything to do with the movie. I think this was supposed to be like their Series 2 Jeep that was like never released from Kenner. And this is really cool with the doors. The detail on here, you know, you can just see you're getting so much bang for your buck for $25. I mean, you're getting the T-Rex, which the Legacy Collection T-Rex, I think, was even $20 or $25 when they first came out. And the Jeep was like another $20. And then the figure, you know, would set you back $7 to $10. So you're getting so much for $25, you know, right now, which is really cool. But yeah, the Jeep just looks really cool. You know, I remember on the when the Legacy line came out, the winch actually moved, but it's all right. I mean, this reminds me so much of the Kenner accessories, and then you put the staff there. So he's on standby. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be an electric spike or what, but you can see for it being in the package, it did get bent. I'm sure we can straighten that, you know, but have that sticking there. And then you've got Ray Arnold, which is an interesting choice of figure, but you can see he's got his glasses on. He's got body armor. It sort of reminds me of like the G.I. Joes or the from back in the day. And you know, with the body armor, it does remove, is what it looks like. And I do like that they were really trying to go all out with the Reimagined on here. This is really cool. I like that you get so much for your money. And like I said, you know, these figures actually, it hit me when I was looking at these action figures again, because the comments that we've been reading, we're getting some great comments. It reminds me sort of the Godzilla figure line more than even the Jurassic Park 3 line of figures, just some of the articulation from the 90s, you know. But this is really cool, you know, and he fits in the Jeep, so he can drive, you know, and doors go open, but you can stand him back here and, you know, make him Rambo. You know, I think what was a cool feature with the older one, there was a grappling hook that came on here with the old Jeep, and you know, they could have done that, but I still think that this is super cool, you know, and you can just see the detail in the Jeep, and all the stickers were applied, so you know, you don't have to mess with stickers falling off. They're all applied from the factory. But let's just put the capture gear on and see. Like I said, this is really cool that it does stretch out, because I know as when I was a kid, we had to be extra careful with the capture gear because it did break. But then you could see, like, let's see, so it should just slide on, I believe, or no, I believe it. Look at that. Yeah, the Kenner stuff did not unhook like that. It was not very flexible, so Mattel, great job on that. That's really cool, you know, putting this capture gear on, and let's see. Yeah, that is really cool. And then you just go like that. How cool is that? And you guys can see the detail on there, just overall. Look at this. For $25, you're getting all this. How cool is that? And I believe that the sale is through this week. We are filming this on Sunday, and so, you know, the sale just went, and this is such a cool dinosaur. I mean, I know that people can say, oh, the nails aren't painted, but it actually blends in with this paint, and these nails are painted, but you can see the color and just like the overall features. Look at what all you get, you know. And I gotta say, like, this pack here is honestly up there with reminiscence of the 93, 94. This right here is probably as close as Mattel has made it with the retro stuff so far. And, you know, it's just so cool to see. You know, and you look at it, and we see, like, we've got our, you know, all they've got to do now basically is do the fire beak. And if they do the fire beak, you know, like I said, they should have, it'd be really cool if they did captured gear on here. But I do think that because Mattel is so focused on trying to keep the nostalgia in there, it's like they have a group that knows that the 94 stuff were really hard to obtain, and they're trying to make that possible for the new collectors, new and old, trying to get this stuff. And I think that is really cool. This definitely is a pack that I have a feeling will eventually be a collector's item. You know, I do think that this series here is something that will be a collector's item for sure, because you are getting the nostalgia. You have the mark of Jurassic Park. Just again, super cool. And these are definitely something that you'll want to add to your collection. This 94. I think they should have done it as a 94 series, but this is just so cool. So you guys, let us know what you think. Make sure you leave your comments and feedback in the comment section. Make sure you give us a thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe to our channel. We're going to do more of the Jurassic World unboxing. We still have some Hammond collection items to go through, but we are also going to start doing our throwback line, where we are going to go through all the 93, 94 Kenner stuff and start that way, as well as work our way through the Lost World to Jurassic Park 3, as well as into the Jurassic World line. So we're going to go through that and start doing some videos, but I will do a comparison of this T-Rex to the 94 T-Rex as well, just to compare the two. But I have to say, this is probably my favorite T-Rex that Mattel has released of the 93 classic, that of the young T-Rex. Like, I don't know, the real feel one is still up there, but this is just so cool. This is definitely one to add. Let me know if you guys agree. I'm going to give Mattel a 10 out of 10 on this set just because for the value, what you're able to get, the capture gear, the T-Rex, the real feel of capturing that nostalgia. They really knocked it out of the park on this one. I have to give it a 10 out of 10. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Thanks again so much for watching this video. Have a great day.